Have you ever wondered at what exact moment you lost the game without even knowing you were playing one? Not because you were weak, not because you lacked talent, but because someone else saw the invisible rules long before you even realized there were rules at all. Maybe you felt it, that strange, uncomfortable sensation that others were moving ahead while you were still trying to understand where the starting line even was. People you're smarter than, calmer than, kinder than. Somehow always 3 steps ahead, always landing on their feet while you fall deeper into confusion. And the truth is harsh. Power does not reward goodness. It rewards awareness. Machiavelli warned us centuries ago, those who understand the world rule it. Those who don't are ruled by it. And yet most people walk through life blind, hoping fairness will save them, never noticing how easily their trust, their emotions, their innocence become weapons used against them. But the real battlefield isn't out there. It's inside your mind, your blind spots, your unconscious patterns, the places where you still believe people think like you do. If you stay with me until the end of this video, I promise you something. You will stop being the victim of invisible dynamics and start becoming the one who sees everything. Before we go deeper, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next awakening videos that will help you become the player, not the pawn. Let me tell you a story, not about a genius, not about a villain, but about someone painfully human. Someone who keeps losing the invisible battles of life without ever understanding why. Someone like you. Someone like the person I used to be. There was a time when I mistook kindness for strength. When I believed that if I gave more, people would give back. If I stayed loyal, others would stay loyal too. That if I showed up fully, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, the world would finally recognize my worth. But reality didn't work that way. Reality punished me for my openness. At work, I watched people with half my ability rise faster than I did. In relationships, I carried the emotional weight while the other person carried the freedom. With friends, I listened, helped, supported, and yet somehow I was always the last one anyone checked on. I wasn't weak, but I was predictable. And predictable people become tools in other people's stories. Maybe you've lived this too. Maybe you know the feeling of giving everything and receiving almost nothing. Maybe you've tried to be the better person, the patient one, the one who understands, the one who forgives. But here's the truth your mind whispers late at night. I feel used. I feel unseen. And you try to silence it, telling yourself you shouldn't think that way. But the ache stays, because you know deep down you are operating in a world that rewards strategy, not purity. The most painful part isn't being mistreated. The most painful part is being unaware of the game being played around you. There were signs, small ones, moments that felt wrong, but you ignored them. Someone is interrupting you. Someone texts only when they need something. A coworker is taking credit for your idea. A partner who only loved you when it was convenient. And each time, you felt that familiar sting in your chest. But you swallowed it, smiled, and told yourself it wasn't worth a confrontation. You didn't avoid conflict. You avoided the truth. The truth is that you didn't know the rules. And when you don't know the rules, you become the piece, not the player. Most people don't lose because others are smarter. They lose because others are less emotional, less transparent, less available, less dependent on external validation. You were raised to believe that being good would protect you. But Machiavelli warned us centuries ago, goodness without strategy is a liability. Jung explained why you keep finding yourself in unfair dynamics. Your unconscious patterns, your desire to be liked, your fear of rejection, your need to be understood, create blind spots. Blind spots that sharper people exploit, sometimes without even knowing they're doing it. And Nietzsche, he said it plainly, he who cannot command must obey. In other words, if you don't become powerful within, you will serve the power of others, whether you want to or not. Look at your life. Look at the patterns that keep repeating. You're not cursed. You're not unlucky. You're untrained. No one taught you to pull back. No one taught you to guard your silence. No one taught you that power is not about dominance. It's about understanding human nature so deeply that you stop being controlled by it. This video, right here, is the moment everything changes for you. Because once you recognize that you've been losing due to ignorance, not inadequacy, you ignite a new kind of fire inside. This is not a video about becoming manipulative. It's a video about finally awakening from the illusion that people will treat you well, simply because you treat them well. The world does not work that way. But now, you are starting to see it. And once you see the game, even once, you can never unsee it again. Before we move forward, leave a comment and share your story. What moment made you realize someone had outsmarted you without you even noticing? I read every comment, and I'll respond to yours. Power is not an accident. It's not luck. It's not destiny. Power is psychology executed with precision by people who understand human nature at a level most never dare to explore. To understand the 6 dark laws you're about to learn, you must first understand why people outsmart you in the first place. Not because they're evil, but because they're awake. Let's start with Machiavelli. Machiavelli spent his life observing rulers, generals, merchants, and even ordinary citizens. He noticed something disturbing. People don't act based on morality. They act based on advantage. And the ones who win are those who accept this truth early. He wrote, "Men are driven by 2 forces, fear and interest. Not kindness, not loyalty. Fear and interest. Everything you've been punished for your openness, your consistency, your transparency came from assuming others think like you." But Machiavelli's world and the real world runs on incentives, not ideals. But Machiavelli only explains half the story. The rest exists inside you, in places you rarely look. That's where Carl Jung enters. Jung believed that your unconscious, your fears, wounds, insecurities, childhood conditioning is what determines whether you become powerful or powerless. He said something terrifying. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life. And you will call it fate. Think about that. You're not losing because people overpower you. You're losing because your unconscious hands them the weapon. If you fear rejection, someone will use that. If you crave validation, someone will exploit that. If you cannot tolerate being disliked, someone will control you with silence. You're not being outsmarted. You're being outexposed. And then there's Nietzsche, the philosopher of willpower and inner strength. Nietzsche believed that the world divides itself into 2 types of people. Those who command and those who obey, not because one is morally better, but because one has confronted themselves. And the other hasn't, he wrote. The one who cannot control himself is commanded by others. This is the essence of your struggle. You're not powerless. You're simply untrained in the psychology of power that every genius, strategist, and quiet winner lives by. So let's break down why the 6 laws exist at all, and why they feel dark. 1. Human beings value scarcity over abundance. This is biological. What's rare is desired. What's always available becomes invisible. This is why pulling back doesn't just work, it transforms your presence into power. 2. People chase what they cannot have. This is psychological gravity. Desire feeds on distance, not closeness. When you chase, you decrease your value. When others chase you, your value multiplies. 3. Attention is the currency of modern existence. In a world drowning in noise, visibility equals survival. You can be talented, brilliant, insightful, but if no one sees you, you don't exist. 4. Self-interest, not morality, is the engine of human behavior. This isn't cynicism. It's realism. People help when it helps them. And geniuses frame their value in a way that aligns with others' interests. 5. Power is maintained through dependency. The one who is needed controls the one who needs. This is why you must cultivate irreplaceable skills, not agreeable behavior. 6. Mystery creates power. Predictability destroys it. People fear what they cannot read. They respect what they cannot predict. They follow what they cannot fully understand. Silence, secrecy, restraint, these are not manipulative, they are protective. They guard your energy, your strategy, your essence. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth you must face. Everything Machiavelli, Jung, and Nietzsche warned about is already happening around you. Every day, someone pulls away strategically. Someone leverages attention. Someone appeals to self-interest. Someone controls through scarcity. Someone protects their intentions. Someone speaks less and gains more. And while they rise, you wonder why your sincerity isn't enough, why your loyalty isn't reciprocated, why your effort doesn't translate into influence. Because effort is emotional, power is psychological. Once you understand this shift, once you stop expecting the world to reward your heart and start using your mind, you step into an entirely different version of yourself. A version capable of seeing patterns others overlook. A version that cannot be manipulated with guilt, affection, or fear. A version that Machiavelli himself would recognize as a strategist, not a spectator. You're not here to become ruthless. You're here to become awake. You're here to reclaim the parts of you that life taught you to suppress, your boundaries, your instincts, your strategic mind, your inner command. And to do that, you must first see the laws clearly, not as tricks, but as truths. Before we dive into the real examples of how these laws operate in daily life, share your thoughts below. Which part of this analysis hit you the hardest, and why? I read every comment, and I'll respond to yours. It's easy to hear these laws and think they belong in ancient courts, royal battles, or political warfare. But the truth is far more unsettling. These laws shape the world you live in every single day. You just didn't have the language to recognize them. Let's walk through a few places where these laws quietly decide who wins and who disappears. Example 1. The workplace, where scarcity becomes power. You've probably seen two types of people at work. The employee who is always available, always saying yes, always responding instantly, always taking on more. And the one who is selective, calm, slow to reply, and only speaks when it matters. Guess who gets promoted? It's never the one who is always there. Their presence becomes background noise, expected, unremarkable. But the strategic one, the one who shows up with precision, not desperation, they command the room without trying. This is law 1. Create value through absence in its purest form. Americans call it executive presence, but it's really just controlled availability. Scarcity creates respect. Consistency creates familiarity. And familiarity kills authority. Example 2. Dating in America. Desire follows distance. In modern dating culture, everyone is chasing someone who's not chasing them. Pull back an inch, and suddenly the other person leans in. Move too close, too soon, and the entire dynamic collapses. You've seen it. When you text constantly, they ghost. When you slow down, they reappear. When you become scarce, they start imagining your value. This isn't manipulation, it's biology. Humans pursue uncertainty. This is law 2. Make others come to you. And law 3. Command attention, working together. People in the US dating scene don't fall for the nicest person. They fall for the most strategically positioned one. Example 3. Social circles. The friend who controls without trying. Every group has that one person everyone listens to. They don't raise their voice. They don't rush to give opinions. They speak slowly, rarely, but with weight. People wait for their reaction. People watch their expressions. People interpret their silence as meaning. Why? Because law 7, always say less than necessary, creates an aura of depth. When you speak less, people assign more meaning to your words. When you speak too much, people stop listening. Mystery amplifies presence. Predictability erases it. Example 4. The business owner who never has to beg smart entrepreneurs in America never appeal to mercy. They appeal to interest. They don't say, "Please support my business." They say, "Here's what this will do for you," and suddenly, customers buy. Partners invest. Opportunities come. This is Law 4. Appeal to self-interest, not sympathy. Because people don't move out of kindness. They move out of the benefit. Example 5. Becoming irreplaceable instead of liked. In any team, the person who becomes valuable in one specific thing, the one who solves a problem no one else can, becomes the one everyone depends on. Not the most liked. Not the funniest. Not the most loyal. The most necessary. This is Law 5. Make others dependent on you. Indispensability is power. Replaceability is death. Example 6. The silent strategist, winning without announcing. Look at the people who make big moves. They don't announce new jobs. They don't announce their goals. They don't broadcast every step. They plan quietly. They execute loudly. That's Law 8. Conceal your intentions. Because when people can't predict you, they can't block you. All these examples reveal one thing. You're already surrounded by people using these laws consciously or not. And the question now is simple. Do you want to keep being affected by these dynamics? Or do you want to step into them consciously, ethically, and powerfully? Before we move to the emotional climax and the transformation phase, share in the comments which example felt the most familiar in your life. I'll be reading through them and responding. There is a moment in life when the shape of who you are begins to crack. A moment when awareness slices through you like cold metal. A moment when you finally realize, I have been living with my power turned off. If you are still here, listening, breathing through the truth of these laws, then you are standing on the threshold of that moment. And once you step through, there is no turning back, because power isn't something you learn. It's something you become. The 6 laws you've heard are not tactics, they are transformations. And applying them isn't about manipulating others. It's about reclaiming the pieces of yourself you gave away too easily, too young, too unconsciously. Let's walk through what it means to embody them, not as behaviors, but as identity. 1. Law of strategic absence. Protect your presence. The world has conditioned you to believe your presence should be endless. Always available, always ready, always responsive. But constant presence drains your worth, the same way constant sunlight dries a river. When you pull back, when you step away from the noise, you aren't punishing anyone, you're reconnecting with yourself. Absence teaches you what presence couldn't, where your energy leaks, where your boundaries collapse, where you betray yourself to keep the peace. You cannot be powerful if your presence is cheap. Absence is not withdrawal. Absence is restoration. 2. Law of attraction. Elevate yourself instead of chasing others. Chasing is the death of dignity. Every time you chase opportunities, people, validation, you shrink. And the more you shrink, the more the world steps over you. The antidote is simple, but not easy. Become someone who does not need to chase. Work on your depth. Sharpen your mind. Develop a craft. Build an inner world richer than anything external. When you stop chasing, you create gravitational pull. People sense the shift in your posture, your silence, your confidence. You attract not by wanting, but by being. 3. Law of attention. Be seen through purpose, not noise. Attention is not loudness. Attention is weight. Many people scream to be seen. Few develop the presence that makes a room go quiet. To command attention ethically, you must focus on essence, not theatrics, your clarity, your decisiveness, your emotional discipline, your restraint. When you walk into a space with an identity formed from intention rather than insecurity, you become unforgettable. Not because you demand attention, but because you carry yourself like someone who no longer begs for it. 4. Law of self-interest. Align with others instead of appealing to their kindness. Begging weakens you. Explaining drains you. Appealing to mercy humiliates you. People act based on what benefits them. That doesn't make them evil, it makes them human. The powerful do not guilt others into helping them. They present alignment, opportunity, and mutual advantage. Ask yourself, how does what I want help them get what they want? This question will change your confidence overnight. You stop pleading. You start positioning. You stop hoping. You start negotiating. Self-interest is not manipulation. Self-interest is clarity. 5. Law of dependency. Build depth until you become irreplaceable. Power grows from necessity. The one who can be replaced will be replaced. The one who becomes essential becomes untouchable. Dependency doesn't mean making others weak. It means refining yourself until your value is unmistakable. Choose one strength, one ability, one dimension of skill, and polish it until it becomes a signature. When people depend on your expertise, your problem solving, your insight, you rise without ever asking for permission. Machiavelli was right. The greatest fortress is to be needed, not wanted. Not liked, needed. 6. Law of silence and concealment. Guard the inner kingdom, your goals, your intentions, your dreams. They are sacred. When you reveal them prematurely, you expose them to projections, doubts, envy, and resistance. Silence is not secrecy. Silence is sovereignty. Every powerful figure in history understood this. The less people know, the less they can interfere. Speak only when the words serve you. Share only when your foundation is unshakable. Reveal only what strengthens your position. A hidden plan is a protected plan. A protected plan is an unstoppable plan. The real secret: you are not becoming powerful, you are remembering your power. Integrating these laws isn't about becoming a predator. It's about finally stopping the cycle of self-abandonment that kept you small. When you pull back, you return to yourself. When you stop chasing, you rise. When you command attention, you take your seat at the table. When you align with self-interest, you gain respect. When you become irreplaceable, you gain leverage. When you protect your intentions, you gain freedom. This is not darkness. This is awakening. It is the moment you stop apologizing for your strength and start living in it. Before we move into the final emotional conclusion, leave a comment right now. Which law do you feel called to embody first, and why? I'll be reading every comment and responding to yours personally. There's a moment quiet, almost imperceptible, when you realize you're no longer the person who started this video. Something inside you has shifted. It's subtle but unmistakable. A tightening of your spine, a calm in your breath, a clarity in your mind. You feel it, don't you? For the first time in a long time, you're not looking at the world with the eyes of someone hoping to be chosen. You're looking at it with the eyes of someone finally choosing yourself. That is the beginning of power. Not the loud kind people pretend to have. Not the fake confidence plastered across social media. Not the shallow, performative dominance that collapses under pressure. No, this is quieter, deeper, older. The kind of power that comes from remembering who you were before the world taught you to shrink. Because the truth is, you were not born powerless. You were conditioned into it. You were told to be agreeable, told to be polite, told to be patient, told not to make people uncomfortable. But what about the discomfort you carried? What about the silent moments where you swallowed your worth to keep someone else calm? What about all the times you dimmed your light so others wouldn't feel small? This is what today breaks. This is what ends here. The 6 laws you've learned aren't just tools, they're mirrors. Each one reflects a truth you've ignored for too long. You are allowed to pull back. You are allowed to stop chasing. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to think strategically. You are allowed to be valuable. You are allowed to protect your dreams until they're strong enough to walk on their own. And when these truths settle into your bones, something miraculous happens. You stop fearing people's reactions. You stop explaining yourself to those who don't listen. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop showing up for places that drain you. You stop making yourself available to those who never earned access. You rise not violently, not arrogantly, but with the steady gravity of someone who has returned to their center. This is the moment Machiavelli spoke of. The moment Jung insisted was necessary for individuation. The moment Nietzsche called becoming who you are. It is the moment you stop living as a shadow and start living as the architect of your own life. But here is the final truth you must take with you. Awareness without action changes nothing. If you let this video end and return to your old patterns, nothing will shift. Nothing will evolve. Nothing will grow. But if you take even one law, just one, and apply it today, your entire trajectory changes. Power compounds. Awareness compounds. Self-respect compounds. And with every step, you become harder to manipulate, harder to discard, harder to overlook. You become inevitable. Before this video ends, I want you to breathe deeply and recognize something. You did not stumble here by accident. A part of you was ready. A part of you was calling for this. And now, that part of you finally has a voice. Your life will not be the same if you choose to walk forward awake. If this video lit something inside you, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next step in your awakening, because the journey doesn't end here. And finally, leave a comment sharing the lesson that resonated with you the most. What truth shook you awake? I'll be reading and responding to you personally. This isn't the end. This is the beginning of a new version of you, one that the world will no longer be able to ignore.